Welcome to my channel, Win with Will. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me. We're going to be looking at my week 9 updates from my dividend portfolio journey. Today is Sunday, August 24th, and this will be a look back at last week's performance. But first and foremost, if you are new to the channel, why am I here? Well, I started this channel, number one, to document my progress, to allow others to follow along and see how things are working for me, so that you can see my ups and downs, see the ins and outs and how things are working, and potentially see pitfalls and potential things that could be issues, or also good things that can work for you as well. Also, to show my friends and family how simple it is to start investing. You don't have to know everything to get started, but you do have to start at some point in time to begin your journey. Also, to teach my kids financial education, as well as helping other parents teach their children as well. You might not know where to start those conversations or how to get things going, but you can use my channel as a launching point. And also to inspire others. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not some type of financial or investing guru, just a regular everyday guy from the south side of Chicago that's decided to take control of my financial future, and you can do the same as well. So let's get into the legals here. I am not a financial advisor, as I've said. The content shared here is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Do your own due diligence. I'm just showing what I'm doing and how things are working for me. But always know that investing involves risk, in which case you will see on these next slides that there is risk involved and losses that can be taken. And all decisions that you make based on this content are your own responsibility. Again, I'm just documenting my personal journey so that you guys can learn from watching me. Now, goal setting. Very, very important to have goals for whatever you're trying to accomplish in life. If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you've arrived? So I have a short-term goal to generate $1,000 a month in dividend income with my account, and to increase my account up to over $10,000 invested. Midterm goal, $5,000 a month in dividend income and $50,000 invested into my portfolio. $5,000 a month in dividend income is enough to be considered a full-time job for salary for a lot of people. $60,000 a year. And my long-term goal, $100,000 a year in dividend income, coming in, generating a six-figure passive residual income from my dividends. So I know why we're here. We're here to take a look at the money. But if anybody's been following the markets for the last, few weeks or so, you will see that there's been a lot of downs across the board. There's been some bounce backs and things have coming back, but again, remember, there's always ups and downs with the market. So let's take a look at how things are going for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my week 9 results from my portfolio. So if we look here, we will see, if you are new, that I initially started my account with $5,000 back in June. And I have added more, and I do add from time to time, as well as reinvest the earnings that I earn, but I also add a little bit more out of pocket at times. So as far as my out of pocket, I've added almost $8,000 total so far into the account. So started with 5,000, added a little more as we went. These numbers are not factored into this. This is just the amount that I've put out of pocket. But this is my week 9 results. And as of Friday, August 28th, I generated $157.44 worth of dividend income. Actually, this was one of the few weeks that last week I didn't add any more either. I just reinvested. So from last week to this week, with just compounding my earnings, I actually took a little bit of a dip, even though I bought more shares, but it's because of the dips across the various funds. So let's take a look at the various funds that I'm invested in for my high yield dividends. I've got 3 Granite Shares funds. The first one, TSYY. This fund is a fund that's based off of how Tesla is performing. So as Tesla is going up and down with the Tesla stock, so will my TSYY shares go up and down as well. Started out with 205. I'm up to 387 shares now of TSYY. and this week's price is $8.45. So it's down about 16.02% based off of the average purchase price that I bought my shares for. So I've got about a little over $3,000, $32.70 worth of this fund in my account. And this week's dividend payout was 22 cents per share. So this week at 22 cents per share, with my 387 shares, I was awarded $85.14 in dividend income from TSYY. XBTY, this is a fund that mirrors Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes up and down every week, this fund will have its ups and downs, and this is another weekly paying dividend fund. So this week's average price, $23.38, still down 6.31% overall is what this one is down. Still paying out a really nice dividend at 43 cents per share. So this week I made $8.60. So a little bit down from last week, but not too bad. Next, NVYY. This fund mirrors or follows NVIDIA, which is a tech company. As NVIDIA goes up and down, so does my NVYY fund. Another weekly payer. Got 40 shares of NVYY. This is the first time that this one's actually been down on me. So it went down slightly from my average purchase price, which is $26.59. The shares were trading at about $26.33 as of Friday, down 0.97%. So this is the first time this one's been down, but now everybody's joining the party of being in the red. $1,000 worth of shares of this. Still paying out a really nice dividend though, 49 cents per share. So I made $19.60 this week from my NVYY. And my ULTY, this is my Yield Max weekly payer. OT is still one of my favorite funds, even though it's been down a little bit. This one has been very consistent with the dividend payouts, paying about 10 cents each and every week since I've been investing with it. We've now started having a little bit of dips in OT, so it's down from my average purchase price of $6.17 down to $5.74 this week. So a negative -7% down for this week. But I did actually buy more shares of OT this week, so I pumped in about 28 shares from my earnings last week of new purchases for OT. So I'm up to 441 shares now, paying out 10 cents per share. So I made $44.10 from my OT. And then Misty, MSTY, follows the MSTR fund. This one is a monthly payer, so this one doesn't pay out again until next week. So no earnings from Misty this week. I actually did not update my numbers, so I have to take a look at these because I didn't update them just because it was no payout this week. But I'll double check to see how Misty did this week. So these numbers will be off a little bit just because I forgot to update Misty because it wasn't a payout for this week. But I still have 50 shares of Misty, which will be paying out next week. So overall, sorry about that. So overall, when we look at the account, this week I've earned $157.44 from all of my dividend earnings, and the overall account is down a little over $1,000 based off of the share price of each fund. Again, this might be a little off because I forgot to update Misty this week, but total amount that's put into all of the funds is a little over $9,000. About that they're valued at right now, $82.15.29. So down a little over $1,044 for the overall account. But when we factor in how all of my dividend payouts, I've gotten $1,338.90 worth of dividend payouts, which is about 16.8% so far for the year. And that would have me up slightly, about $300, a little over almost $300 if we factor the loss of the funds plus the earnings for the dividend. So I'll still be at this point above water with my overall account if we were, just factoring everything together. So right now, consistently generating about a good $150 plus per week on my account. And then once a month or so, we'll have the influx from my 50 shares of Misty. Last time it paid out almost $60. So $150 a week, not too bad. If you factor that out into a month, it's about 600, a little over $600 a month, plus the extra, $60 or so that's been coming in from Misty. So about $660 a month, not too bad overall. Factor in $8,000 put into the account. So if you like this content, guys, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. It really helps tremendously when you guys do. When you comment, I do reply back to each and everyone's comments. You can just, encourage me, say, how things are going for you on your journey. If there's any things that you think I should be looking out for or things that you'd like to recommend. So, hey, comment in the comments section and I will definitely get back to you. But more importantly, like and share and subscribe to the channel. It really helps others get the content out to more people. So I really appreciate when you guys join the channel and also like the videos. But don't be scared, guys. Just looking at the ups and downs of the market, it's always going to be ebbs and flows with everything. So don't be scared. This is actually could be a really good time for someone that's not gotten involved to actually get involved, because right now where prices are down and things like that, we all know the same: buy low, sell high when it comes to the stock market. So don't be scared of a little bit of up and down, a little bit of fluctuality, because it just happens. And everything, no stocks or no investments perform just straight up in a straight line. They typically going to have their ups and downs and ebbs and flows. So a little progress each day adds up to big results, guys. So the little things that we do every day on our journey will eventually add up to large things down the road. You look back and you be like, wow, you can't even believe how far you've come from where you started. So just doing a little bit each and every day adds up. Then let the snowball pile up and add up and pile up and add up. And next thing you know, you got a huge avalanche of success coming your way. So, hey, I want to thank you guys for joining me this week. I will have videos here on the channel which will show my last week's progress for my week 8. And also my last time I did a deep dive video into the various funds that I'm invested in. So you can take a look at that to see why I picked each fund and why I went in the direction that I went. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that each and every one of you guys have an excellent rest of your day. You have a good one now. Bye.